The Hash It Out Show is brought to you by Barreto Home Solutions, Bayou Audio and Video, Hot Works on the North Shore, JFK Martial Arts in Mandeville and Covington, Black Hawk Hauling, Lil Dizzy's Cafe, Wags Food and Culture, Moe's Pizza, The Green Law Firm, Personal Injury Attorney, Drums Earwear.
Hands up, hands up, hands up, hands up. If you winning and you don't give a fuck about a hater, tell them move. Clear my area, move. Clear my area, move. Clear my area, move. Clear my area. Cause I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. 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 Hands up, hands up, hands up, hands up. If you winning and you don't give a fuck about a hater, tell them move. Clear my area, move. Clear my area, move. Clear my area, move. Clear my area. Cause I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning.
Welcome to the Hash It Out Show. I am your host, JB the Sports Guy. We got a great show for you all tonight. We thank y'all for joining us. We got a special guest with us also. Later on, we're going to get into the select playoffs and give y'all who we think will win each game. But I couldn't do this without my two co-hosts that you can find on CrescentCitySports.com. First up, the one and only VK Jones. What's going on, VK?
Good evening, everybody. What's going on, folks? Like, tag, share, and subscribe to the Hash It Out Show on all social media platforms. And also log on to the hashitoutshow.com. That's the hashitoutshow.com. We got a lot going on. Getting ready for the first round of the prep playoffs right here in the state of Louisiana. And we like to give a big shout out to not just our regular fans, but also our audience from North Louisiana as well that's joining us tonight. So let's get into this thing here, Jared.
Also, George Peppers. What's going on, GP?
Not too much. I'm echoing VK sentiments. It's round one of the state playoffs. Boy, we're here already, huh? Seemed like the regular season just started yesterday. Man, time flies when you're having fun. And before you know it, we'll be in the Superdome in 5 weeks' time. But I'm just glad to be a part of this ride. And we have a great guest tonight. And we're going to learn a little bit about that football team. And we'll talk about him. We'll talk to him in a little bit.
Well, definitely, pretty much right now. As many of you know, the Hash It Out Show game of the week is the Parkway Panthers taking on the Bell Chase Cardinals that you can catch on www.tsbnsports.com. Our special guest for tonight, he is the head coach of the Parkway Panthers, the one, the only coach, Coy Brotherton. Coach Brotherton, how you doing? And thank you for joining us.
Hey, guys. Well,
yes, sir. Appreciate it. Coach, while you were the offensive coordinator at Captain Shreve, did you ever have thoughts of wanting to be a head coach again? Because you did. You were the head coach at Plain Daily.
That's right. High school, city, years as coordinator, and Plain Daily. But man, I made football. Man, nothing better than 5A level. Coach Poldo took over at Captain Shreve, and that's I had to weigh my options. I want to stay as a head coach. I want to get in the 5A and the nights, enjoy all that. And made the move to Shreve. Spent 6 years there. Met a lot of good people, a lot of good friends. a lot of good memories. And, when the opportunity came open, I thought about it. I jumped on it, and here we are 4 years later.
How did being the head coach at Plain Dealing and being the offensive coordinator at Captain Shreve, how much did that help you with your decision to want to be a head coach at Parkway?
Well, I enjoyed being the head coach. I come from a coaching family. My dad was so the kind of run a program from even in the junior highs, dipping into the junior highs and been running that from the ground up. But I've been lucky and fortunate enough that with my time at Parkway, I've had some guys that have called the offense and defense for me, and I don't have to do that. There are some times and some Friday nights where I miss calling plays. So I did it for so long, but can do that. We trust. I can kind of sit back and kind of manage the game part.
You spoke of your dad. Coming up playing football, how was it being having a dad as a football coach? Did he sit down with y'all, tell y'all what I did wrong, what to do better? How was that like coming up?
The bad parts were car rides home when it was silent. Then we didn't know that I did something bad or what. But no, it was fun, man, having him just standing in the house and just kind of enjoying those moments with you. I know he poured so much in his coaching career, and probably rewarding for him to be able to coach me. And my brother started coaching at Walton when I was a sophomore. So man, I had both of those guys on staff, and Jason was kind of with the freshman teams, and really him coaching me. But we were able to share some moments at practice and on the sideline. And then Dad coached defense backs and for a long time. And I played on the offensive line. So it was great having those guys as coaches. Great getting that feedback, but it was also kind of nice not to take that butt chewing, from their position groups.
You speak of your brother. He's the head coach at Horton. And I read up on something called the Brotherton Bowl when y'all play each other every year. How is that like between you and your brother and your parents?
No, it's not easy on the parents at all. Mom and dad, that's 1 week they don't enjoy. One of us has got to win, one of us has got to lose. So it's hard on them, but it's played up pretty well in our communities and played up pretty well in the media up here when we do face each other. And at the end of the season, it's always back on and reflect on those moments with your brother. But that whole week of preparing to play against him is tough. It's not fun on us at all. Game, I can promise you, it's more about other stuff. And the crazy thing is we talk so much during the season. It's like when we do play there, you kind of have to. If I told him in the past few weeks that they can use against me this week, you kind of got to be careful what you say all year. And we're in the same district, and we're going to play each other.
You've been the head coach at Parkway for 6 years now. When you got the job, what was it that you had to change regarding the culture of Parkway?
Man, I kind of got into a pretty good situation. When I got there, they've had some winning seasons. They've had a lot of success there at Parkway. And it was really just when I got there that they had missed the playoffs. So the winning ways were still there. That winning mentality was still there. It was basically just going in and getting those guys to believe again, and just remind them, A, where we're at now is not where we need to be, but B, we've been there before. You've been there before. You've had cousins that have been there before. Good situation have been there. A lot of traditions have been there. They really had just had, one, maybe two bad seasons leading up to that. And our first year there was the year of COVID. And, coming in that situation and not being able to hire coaches until August and not really being familiar with the kids. And, we struggled. We went 3-5. in 22 that season is really when things started turning for us, and kids bought in, and it just kind of really got tough with that mentality. We had some good football players that helped as well.
One of our viewers has a question for you. He's asking, how big has it been getting Devin Oliver back from injury from last season?
I tell you, man, DD missed the whole year last year. That's a kid that when he stepped up as a freshman, he was already 6'2", 280 pounds. Played a lot as a freshman for us. And then in the spring game, winning into his sophomore year, he got the knee injury. And then had surgery right away, and he missed his whole sophomore campaign. But that's a kid that he's going to probably 6'3" now, close to 300 pounds. Just kind of dominating the D line there for us, and he's even played some offense for us at tight end the last few weeks, which has helped us. But he's a phenomenal athlete. He won a state championship last season as a sophomore, throwing the discus against top-notch offensive and defensive linemen in our state in 5A. So, he's one that definitely we missed having him last year, but we're glad we got him this year, and I look for him to hopefully continue this in the playoffs and have a great senior year.
Before I pass on to VK Jones, my last question: you have the Belle Chase Cardinals this Friday night, 7:00. What have you seen on film about Belle Chase?
First thing that stands out is just the size of the D line and how good their defense is. Up a lot of points this season, especially here in the second half of the season. And the one game that kind of stands out to me was midway through the year, taking a good Newman football team who has scored some points this year. That game was 7-7 then in regulation. So definitely a defensive game, that we're looking forward to. That we're going to have our hands full on our offensive side of the ball with their defense. And, the one thing about playoffs is, and a lot of people don't understand this, is we're not familiar with Belle Chase. We're not familiar with them. We don't know their kids. We don't know who's healthy, who's not. And same with them with us, So
right.
you try to watch enough film. You try to gather as much information as you can. But, when you haven't faced the team or faced the coaching staff before, there's so much unfamiliarity there and so much uncertainty, that it can be worrisome going into the game.
Coach Brotherton, we all appreciate you coming on and everything to talk about your career and talk about the Parkway program that has been a very good and very consistent program in itself. I gotta ask you this. Despite you guys finishing 7-3 on a year and just still finishing for a tie for third place, the tough schedule has helped y'all, but then on top of that, it seemed like that league was really tough this year, and a good bit of teams. I think 4 teams out the district making the postseason this year.
Yeah, man, this district up here it's tough. A lot of people don't understand that it's a district that every team in our district, all 8 teams in our district, have great coaches. And that's the thing that stands out the most is you're never going to go into a game, regardless of your playing where you have that coaching advantage or you have the advantage of any of that, because anybody can be anybody on any given night here in this league. And Captain Shreve went undefeated this season, and just looking over the last few years. In our district, that's kind of been rare, for one team to run the table. Usually you have 2 or 3 teams that knock each other off, and and the district champion ends up with 1 loss, or there's two teams with 1 loss and they tie. But it's tough each week, like you said. And I know Shreve and Bird made it there on the select side, and then I think us, Airline, and Benton made it on the non-select. So 5 teams got in this year, and we saw tough teams, with Nakata Central, with Coach Curtis getting there and them improving. I mean, we were in a dogfight with them. They missed the playoffs, and it took a last-second field goal for us to knock them off. And, Halton missed the playoffs this year for the first time in 27 years. So it's even the teams that finish, 6th and 7th in our district are on the way up, and are perennial playoff teams.
Wow, absolutely. Take a look at your offense. It's led by your quarterback, Caleb Williams, but also you got 2 very good running backs in Antonio Gladley and also Peyton Rayner that takes a lot of pressure off of Caleb. Can you tell us about how these guys has really helped you out this season, and also some other players offensively that has been really stepping it up for y'all.
Yeah, man, we're led by Caleb. I mentioned quarterback there, Caleb Williams, just a sophomore. Get done for us. Great athlete, great kid. Very older sister is starting basketball at LSU. Michaela Williams, she was the Gatorade Player of the Year last year. Won a championship for us. So, man, it runs in his blood, and that's the one thing. The coach staff we kind of talked about. We have a sophomore quarterback going into a playoff game, and I promise you, he's played in big AAU basketball games in his past. He's played in big football games in his past, and you really don't have to worry about a moment being too big for him. Even with his age and his unique experience, but he's done a great job, phenomenal job for us this year. In the backfield with him is another sophomore. Who we put out at wide receiver, put out at running back. He's going to be a prospect here in the next few seasons, and expect him to have big things too in his career. So, like you said, on offense, those two guys get us going. They're both sophomores. We got two more on the offensive line that are playing, and we're very young on that side of the ball. We only start 2 or 3 seniors on offense, and we got about 8 seniors on defense. So, that's, you look at our scores, and defense has carried us all year, and that's what we expect to continue.
Man, I tell you, the Williams name in itself, like you mentioned, very familiar in itself, and you definitely right on that. Meeting Michaela Williams and seeing her in person, she's definitely the real deal, and I think she's going to do great at LSU, and also meeting the women's head coach. And I told her after the semifinal game before they went to the finals, I was like, Coach, I see a look in your eye that y'all really want it. And I'm like, she said these words: unfinished business, sir. Unfinished business.
Right.
They took care of it indeed.
They
Talk a
did.
little bit about, yeah, absolutely. So big ups to Parkway's women's basketball. Hopefully they're going to try to do back-to-back. But let's talk about your defense. Defense been holding it down. Tell us about your defensive players that have been stepping up for y'all this year.
Well, you mentioned D.D. Oliver there on the D-line. Joined there, B.J. Patterson, another defensive lineman for us, big nose guard. He's a 4-year starter. He came in as a freshman the year of COVID. Then started, 6 out of 8 ball games that year as a freshman, and really has started every game since then. So a lot of experience there with him. That linebacker, we have Mare Brown, who's a senior for us, who again, he came up, moved in his junior year or his sophomore year. He moved in and started right away as a sophomore. He came from Hamilton Christian when they had all the flooding down there in Lake Charles, and I think he started there as a freshman. So he's got a lot of experience on his belt too. But man, we're really proud of our secondary. Very good secondary. We got some guys there with a lot of starts under their belt. Ashton Jackson's a long, tall cornerback for us. That started as a sophomore, went to the quarterfinals, and he's joined back there with Greg Chipman, another safety, who's the same thing, senior this year, that started as a sophomore on that team. And our best cornerback is Camaro Mayo, who's a commit to Louisiana Tech, just a junior, but he's a lockdown, man coverage corner that can tackle. Very good athlete that. He's been starting a long time and started for a lot of football teams too. He started at Green Oaks, about 4 years ago when he was in the 8th grade. So all those guys have a lot of experience. And, we added up the starts and career starts coming into the season with those guys, and it was over 180 career starts, with those 11 guys on defense. So that's where our experience is, and that's where we've won some ball games with.
Well, I tell you, Coach, I know you say you're in year number 6. How you handle things trying to maintain a program like Parkway that has been very consistent in the last almost 15 to 20 years, the way they've been really coming up, and also how the area has really, really grown outside the usual suspects like a Washita, West Monroe, or Ruston, the usual Evangel and all that stuff. But you guys and Captain Shreve and all these other teams and Benton, I'm like, and now North DeSoto, it seems like that north is really blooming out there.
It is, and we're in a good spot. We're right here. We kind of border Shreveport. Just right across the river. I mean, we're probably not but 2.5-3 miles from Captain Shreve, so we kind of border them. We border Airline High School, and we border Halton, just kind of right there in that little triangle of area. But just the land and the housing market, is very good where we're at. The schools and the communities are great. And Parkway, like you said, last 15, 20 years, they've had a great tradition and some great athletes come through there with some quarterbacks. Brandon Harris, who went on to play at LSU, and coaches at University of Texas now, and Keandre Woodtee, who played quarterback with Oklahoma State. He's coaching at Centenary now, and Justin Rogers is one, and they had the Larry kids, and Terrace Marshall's in the NFL, and there's a couple of those guys. So it's been very good tradition, in the last 10, 15 years. We haven't had another NFL player since then, since I've been there, but the talent's still there. The kids are still there. And, for us, being a 5A school, and we're one of the smaller ones, we're at 1,290 kids, which, puts us towards the bottom of enrollment, but it's a good group of kids, good mix of kids. And the community loves football, and they support athletics, and for all athletics, we're football is striving and thriving, but like you mentioned, the girls basketball team and our baseball team's been to the semifinals, and boys basketball was winning some games. Our soccer programs are quarterfinals last year. So, just all in all, the whole sports program here in South Bossier has been great.
George Peppers.
Coach Brotherton, first off, I want to echo my co-host sentiments on thanking you for joining us. I know it's a busy time being, getting ready for a playoff game. Just want to express my appreciation as well for you to take time out of your schedule to join us. And congratulations on having a 7-3 season. My first question, though, you guys have lost a couple of games in a row, but the quality teams, Airline and Benton. Seems like, had a great start, 7-1. It's been a couple of rough goes of it. What do you feel like? How have the kids practiced this week in advance of this trip to Bell Chase?
It's been actually a good week of practice. We go back 2 weeks ago to week 9. The Airline game was a tough game for. That's the game where we actually had the lead 16-7 with 2 minutes to go in the quarter. They go on a 90-yard drive and kick an onside kick, get it, and score again real fast. And really just kind of took the momentum away from us and got away from us at the end of the game. But that was a week 9, where our kids played very, very hard. I couldn't have asked them to play any harder than they did. We just kind of ran out of bullets, ran out of ammunition there towards the end. But Airline, they're the 4 seed, here in the playoffs. So that was a tough loss.
Right.
We didn't rebound very well last week against Benton. I'll be honest with you, we kind of got pushed around and didn't play our good brand of football last week, and that was kind of disappointing. And we had some kids that from that Airline game that were banged up. We lost a couple more during the game Friday night against Benton. And you look out there in the second half. There's some kids here in week 10, playing meaningful snaps for the first time all season. And it kind of got out of hand and got away from us there too. But to answer your question though, this week at practice, the kids have been focused. That's been great. And they're kind of hungry to get that playoff win. We got beat in the first round last year. And our older guys, they experienced a quarterfinal run when they were sophomores. So to lose in the first round last year, they don't want to do that again. So they've stepped it up. They've done good. And like I mentioned earlier, with our sophomores and our young kids, they're still young. They don't really know better. You can kind of trick them, and they got a short-term memory, and they've probably already forgot that game. So they're already worried about what's next.
Okay. With the long trip that you guys have going on, logistically speaking, you guys are going to come down. Y'all leaving tomorrow, or y'all going to leave Friday, or what's y'all itinerary?
We're going to leave Friday morning. We got a couple charter buses lined up. We're going to leave very early Friday morning, about 8 o'clock. We're going to kind of break it into about 3 different trips there, 3 different stops there. We're going to stop in Alexandria at first. Coach Botman there at Ash High School is graciously going to allow us to come in and kind of sit down and relax in their indoor facility, maybe do a little game field. They got turf. half, maybe 2 hours. We'll go ahead and eat lunch there as well. So we'll get back either, outright out that quick stop, 45, and then kind of travel the rest of the way. Been ideal, man. It's gonna be a long time on that bus. It's about a 5.5 hour trip for us. But it's like I told our kids, they're sitting in usually on a Friday they're sitting in math, science, English class for an hour and a half apiece. So we're just gonna kind of treat it like that, 3 class periods, and be ready to roll when we get down to Belle Chase.
Does it concern you with a long trip, a bunch of kids, and especially with the fact that your offense is a young offense, predominantly young? Does it concern you at all about the long trip coming down?
Yeah, I mean it does. It does. And I've done it both ways. I've taken the team before the night before and stayed in a hotel, and you worry about that as well. With kids, kids being in a hotel room by themselves, and what time they can go to sleep.
Sure.
They can stay up all night and do whatever. So anytime you make a long trip like that, I don't know if there's a right way to do it. You just kind of hope that your kids see the big picture. They kind of treat it like that business trip that you hope they are, like we tell them to, and hope they take your advice and do what you ask them to do. So, like you said, it is worrisome, but man, I don't know if there's another way to do it.
I look at philosophically speaking, there are teams that would want to be in your position playing a playoff game Friday night that are not. So, in that sense, you have a great opportunity here, and against a team that's similar to you. I mean, to your squad. I mean, it's a young group. Belle Chase. You mentioned they have a strong defense. You guys, your defense has been pretty good as well. What kind of a style game do you think we're looking forward to Friday night from your side, from Parkway?
Man, you kind of said it. Defensive battle, defensive struggle is kind of what we're kind of counting on. That's kind of what we expect to kind of be in. That dogfight. You can tell on film. They're very well coached. They're especially on defense. They're sound. They're not going to get out of place. They fly around to the ball. And like you said, the kind of style is very similar to us. Both teams are wanting to throw the ball or wanting to run the ball first, set up that pass, and one thing that we talked about is the kicking game. We have Aaron Burrell who's committed to LSU, who's the top, and their kicker is a senior that's number 3 in the state, committed to Arkansas State. Tough. It's going to be at a premium Friday night. Because it doesn't turn the ball over. Get to take advantage Friday.
Weather could play a factor in this game Friday night. There's down here we're looking at about I think a 50 or 60% chance of some kind of precipitation. The Cage is a very good stadium. It's a good field. So weather shouldn't be a factor for you guys at all, even if it does rain.
Yeah, but that is one thing. Just because how much is going to. We check the weather forecast all week, and we know there's a turf field. It looks nice and looks good, but it's just so much stuff that we have. How many balls we bring, ball dries, towels.
Talk about the student enthusiasm for this game. I'm sorry, Coach.
No,
I was gonna. Sure, but I was gonna ask you about the students and what's the enthusiasm been like from the student body and from the alumni at Parkway in advance of this game at Belle Chase?
It's been kind of quiet. It's a long trip for a lot of people. I know there's been some talk about getting a student bus together and and having seats, but we've had such a hard time getting charter buses lined up. They've been at a premium. We're charging a lot of money for us to get down there. So, this week, be over $100 for those kids to have to get on that bus, and it was kind of do that. But we do have spirit groups coming. Our cheer and dance teams both are coming. Our band's coming. We're going to have a big Parkway travels well. I wish playing closer. I really wish we were at home. Be a big night, but even if we were playing closer, but it'll still be good from Parkway support. Just wish it was a little closer.
Last question before I turn over back to our host, JB. The first draft of the redistricting plan came out this week, and you guys are slotted to be back in 1-5A along, and you've got a pretty interesting new member in Evangel Christian. They have played in the lower classes here now for the last handful of years, but now they're going to go back up to 5A. What do you think the addition of Evangel, coupled with the teams that are already good, like yourself, Captain Shreve, and Airline, teams like that, how much stronger do you think this district gets with the addition of a team like Evangel?
It's gonna be tough. Like I said, the district was already tough enough. And you're adding Evangel and Huntington back into the district. Huntington hadn't been in 5A in a while, but back up as well. And it's looking like a 9-team district is what they'll propose to us, which means you're playing 8 district ball games. It's gonna be tough each and every week. Playing in just your district schedule and only being able to play 2 games outside of district is gonna make it tough as well. For us in PowerPoints because. If you're in a smaller district and your district's winning non-district games, you're moving up the power rankings, and we're not going to have those opportunities with the 9-team district. But with Evangel coming back up, we know that they've got some guys on their campus that have enrolled in the last year. That up their football numbers are up, and they're going to have a lot of for next year. So we're not surprised they're coming back up to 5A. That wasn't a surprise. We knew it was going to happen. So, we'll welcome them and, we'll look forward to it.
Uh-oh.
I think it's
I got it.
Sound.
Last question, Coach.
Okay, cool.
Last question, Coach. From one of our viewers that's watching the show, he asks, has there been any team this season that you faced that reminds you of Belle Chase?
That's a tough one. I would say the defensive style that Belle Chase plays probably closer to Captain Shreve, just with the speed that I think they have combined with the size and the discipline would be Captain Shreve. And then, when you look at Belle Chase's offense, probably the closest thing to us is just with the style that they do would be something similar to Bird. Even though Bird's under center, Belle Chase is in the gun more than not. This is a shotgun version of what Bird's trying to accomplish and what they try to do. So I would say it's a combination team in particular when you look at both sides of the ball. But if you can combine those 2 ball clubs and their styles and what they do, that's what we think probably close.
Coach Brotherton, good luck to you Friday night against the Belle Chase Cardinals, and we will see you there, my friend. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Coach Coy Brotherton, the head coach of the Parkway Panthers. Guys, this matchup is very, very intriguing. A 14 against a 19. And I think we're in for a treat this Friday night because I think we're going to have a great ball game. What you say about that, George Peppers?
If you like defense and physical football, come to the cage Friday night. If not, if you can't make it, ESPNsports.com is where you want to be because we're going to give you the game on the Hash It Out show by district round game of the week. PK Jones will do the pregame, the countdown to kickoff, as he so aptly calls it, and I will be on the play-by-play. The 3-man weave will be at the cage Friday night. Little self-promo there, my friend. But I expect a tight game. And when we discussed what game we were going to do this week, this game went to the center, to the top of the list for me because of Parkway and the allure of grabbing another fan base from up north. We haven't had a Shreveport team obviously, the games we do, we primarily focus in New Orleans and the southeastern quadrant. But now we have a team from Shreveport, the Shreveport area, an area that has been very, very good as far as depth and talented teams. Now we get one of their, let's say, mid-level talented teams. They're not one of the elite teams there, but that's a solid football team. And similar styles is going to, and who's going to break first? And that there's a lot of questions that are going to be answered in this game. BK, I feel like we're in for a really good football game. Tight defensive struggle, and could be won by the young man that's the LSU commit, Aaron Vanell, the kicker for Parkway. Could be one of those situations where he factors into the equation late.
VK?
Should be interesting in itself. It's good. This is reminding me so much when the first time I discovered Parkway, and that's when Brandon Harris was a junior, and they played against
Yep.
Hanville in the playoffs, and it was and I think it was, I believe it was, I don't know if it was the quarters, one of the two, it was quarters or semis they met, and it was a hell of a ball game, which Hanville survived. Parkway came in
Right.
there, and it was an unbelievable slugfest. So I expect that to be the same thing again in this ball game coming up Friday. And I tell you, I think this is going to come down the wire. Kicking game is going to be a factor for both teams. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens. You know, Parkway is a very consistent program. We're looking forward to that fan base to join us on Friday night. And come on, log in and join us, man. You're going to have some great action Friday night. All the Panthers fans, so please join us. We know the Cardinals fans going to join us, but we want the Panther fans to come out there and not just come to the game, but come and log on and check out some great action with us. But this is going to be a very good one Friday night. Looking forward to seeing what happens. Parkway's been consistent. Bell Chase looking for their first ever playoff win in 5A against a 5A school. So they're looking for a big achievement if they get it done.
First playoff win in Division One. All right. Well, we will see what happens Friday night between the Parkway Panthers and the Bell Chase Cardinals. Gonna take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back here on the Hash It Out Show.
You're watching the Hash It Out Show! Hands up, hands up, hands up, hands up. If you winning and you don't give a fuck about a hater, tell them move. Clear my area, move. Clear my area, move. Clear my area, move. Clear my area. Cause I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. 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 Hands up, hands up, hands up, hands up. If you winning and you don't give a fuck about a hater, tell them move. Clear my area, move. Clear my area, move. Clear my area, move. Clear my area. Cause I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning.
And welcome back to the Hash It Out Show. As you see, the Hash It Out Show game of the week, the Bell Chase Cardinals against the Parkway Panthers. You can hear the game at www.tsbnsports.com. Once again, at www.tsbnsports.com. With the pregame starting at 6:20. Now, we're going to move on to our select playoff brackets. Give you our picks on who we think will win the first round playoff games in the select bracket. Let me get to it right quick. Oh, yeah, we're ready to go. Psych, we're not ready to go. We're going to go to
and all I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna reply to this. I don't know who's the guy that says seldom seen.
Yes.
I don't know who's that guy is, but hey, look, when you got to deal with a kid, you got to do what you got to do full time.
You ain't got to answer.
Just saying. Nah, I ain't got to answer, but I'm just saying I have a full-time job in the cell trying to take care of my kid. Then on top of that, I'm trying to finish up some training for a gig I have. So deadline's got to be done by the night. So you know how that is.
You ain't got to answer. It's okay. Stay awake. All right, move it on.
He did your job for you.
Yes, all right, guys, here we go. We're doing Division One Select. Let's start off.
And brought to you by Drums.
Yes. As you can see, drums headwear we got on from one of our sponsors. We got our headphones on. VK got his on. George Pepper's got his on. You just can't see him. And I got mine on. Appreciate drums headwear for the headphones that we have, man. The clarity of the sound is so clear. All right, but let's get to our picks. Sheldon Scene says he feels you, bro. He has 9.
Oh, God bless you, brother. God
All right.
bless you. I know you probably take care of them all. God bless you, man.
Oh yeah. Here we go, guys. Let's get to it. Number 16, Jesuit hosting number 17, Bird. Man, man. Can I say a draw? Over, I mean, man, I think it's a
This
tough
the
one,
playoffs.
man.
Somebody got to win.
Yeah, I know. Oh man, I'm gonna go.
You wish you had ties.
I'm gonna go Bird. I got Bird, man. Who you got, VK?
Yeah, this is a tough one too. It's a real tough one. It's gonna come down to field goal on this one, bro. I'm gonna go with Ryan McNally and the Jesuit Blue Jays. Cat league down on this one.
George.
When you look at it's a typical 16-17 matchup, isn't it? Evenly matched teams. Jesuits had a struggle, with the Catholic League, and they've had a tough year, but they found a way and gritted out a playoff berth and gritted out a home game. Bird's got to get on the bus, and I think that's the difference. I think Jesuit and look, Ryan Manali's a lot of things. A damn good coaches won, and he's good for at least one playoff win. I think the Jays win it by a touchdown.
And Kenny, George has the color red. His headphones are red. Karen Crow against Pineville. The Crow Bears. VK.
Crow Bears, big.
George.
Karen Crow, name your number. I mean, Pineville's 2-8. Are you serious? I mean, PowerPoints are PowerPoints, but how in the world did they finagle enough to get into the playoffs at 2-8? It is what it is, But Karen Crow wins big and sets up a Titanic second round game in a rematch against Acadiana if they pass
Well, it was
Pineville.
the same thing last year. Just flip the numbers on Karen Crow and Acadiana. It was
Yep.
last year. So, man, wow. Okay, Huntington versus Woodlawn of Baton Rouge. I'm going with the 12 seed Huntington. Mr. VK Jones.
Huntington and Woodlawn. Huntington's been really consistent the majority of the years, so I'm gonna go with the Huntington Raiders.
Mm-hmm. It's a team that's flown under the radar a little bit this year, Huntington. You know what? Ain't that the other Shreveport schools and the teams in northern Louisiana, the North DeSotos, the Evangels, the Rustons, the Nevilles. Huntington's kind of been below the radar, but you know what? They're going to announce themselves Friday night. Woodlawn's a little too young here. I don't think they're good enough. I think Huntington gets it done.
Okay. Number 13, Alexandria hosting number 20, Bonneville. Bonneville are in the playoffs for the first time in many years. Congratulations. That's a step in the right direction. But Alexandria gets the win. VK.
Yeah, congratulations to Bonneville, and they finally got there. But I hate to say this and be the bearer of bad news. The Bonneville Bruins have not gotten a playoff win since 1991. And that's a long time. They're a school that's gonna get better and better, but not this year. Alexandria gets it done.
George.
Bonneville has not played a team that can move the football like Alexandria. Alexandria plays a wide open style. Thomas Bachman does a great job there. Look, I echo the kudos for Bonneville. Congratulations on getting to the state playoffs for the first time in a good while. With that being said, gentlemen, Alexandria can name their margin here. They're going to win. Bonneville, enjoy the trip, enjoy the experience. You'll build off of it. But Alexandria is too much for you guys Friday night.
And another factor before you move on, you know who was a member of that 91 Bonneville team that advanced in the playoffs?
No, I don't.
The head coach at John Eric, Reggie Rogers.
Ah,
Yes, he was. He's right.
Reggie Reggie was on the 1991 squad.
Yes, sir.
Man,
He finished before one of Bonnable's best teams with Robert Robinson and Derek Williams and company, and before the '98 team that was undefeated, way before that.
Man, I thought Reggie and I were close in age. Man, you told that
Nah,
man age.
Reggie older than me. So.
I'm gonna tell Reggie. You told him told the world his age. I'm gonna tell him tomorrow.
But he
All
did
right.
talk about it.
Stir the pot, Mr. Boyd. Stir the pot.
We actually did talk about it before the season started. So I don't know if you remember that when it was
I
that
don't know
era.
where I was then.
You did.
But
You,
all right, moving on. Tomorrow night, 6:30, where we're gonna be at watching this game. John Ehret hosting Riverdale. John Ehret last year lost in the first round of Rummel, looking to rebound from that. Also, Riverdale looking to win its first playoff win ever. They've never won a playoff game, Riverdale. John Ehret gets the win. VK.
some very few teams that Riverdale has had that has made the postseason and just could not get that win. Even probably one of the best athletes that ever came out of Riverdale, and they couldn't get a playoff win. And you know who I'm talking about, Jared, who that was,
Dante
right?
Jackson.
That's right. Couldn't get that win. And they're improving. Given a lot of props, they're going in the right direction. But nah, John Ehret.
Ladies and gentlemen, before I make my selection, I just want to announce that VK Jones did not make this pick under duress because the last time we picked an Ehret game that was big, he went with the right side and got some blowback from the Ehret staff. So just throwing it out there. He did not make this pick under duress. He's using journalistic integrity and logic. It's a good thing to have. With that said, you give Riverdale, and Kyle Walker has done a nice job there, getting that team back into a progressive state. Getting better. Um, but the top end talent at Ehret dwarfs what Riverdale's got. Riverdale's got some decent players. Ehret's got really good players when they show up. It's the playoffs. The game is at Ehret, and yeah, there's some Riverdale people talking. There is. And they can do what they want. I'm bringing a muzzle with me tomorrow night, so I can hand it to them after the game to the people that have been running their mouth. So I'm going to bring a muzzle with me. Um, but look, objectively speaking, Ehret wins because they're superior on both sides of the ball. Ehret will get the win and take that trip to Baton Rouge Catholic next week. And no, I'm not guaranteeing that game. One of our listeners was trying to say that Ehret would win next week. Trying to say that I said it. I was like, no, hold up. Let's get through tomorrow night first. Ehret wins tomorrow night, though.
Looks like the Riverdale people didn't show up tonight. They're being humble. They're trying to keep quiet.
They're hiding.
You know what I'm saying?
Moving on.
They're hiding, VK. They're hiding.
Moving on. Number 11, McKinley hosting 22 St. Augustine. I'll tell you what. I heard somebody last night say McKinley wins this game 32-21. If McKinley beats St. Augustine, McKinley will be partying all night in Baton Rouge. And number 2, these St. Augustine faithfuls, they're gonna be very, very upset. With that being said, I have St. Augustine defeating McKinley. VK Jones.
I'm curious to see who had that, who predicted that. A McKinley win.
Yeah. McKinley
If it's
wins
somebody from
32-21.
if that's somebody from Baton Rouge, I can understand because that's their area.
It was a New Orleans person.
Oh Lord.
Oh.
And I guess you don't want to say that, but that's fine. You don't.
I'm not gonna say that.
Okay. We'll talk off air about that. But regardless of the fact, this game should not be that close. I can't lie. McKinley might make it interesting early. McKinley is trying to finally make a come up in football, and it's been a while since they made a come up in this sport. You know, McKinley's up and down in every sport, but all of a sudden they get their moments and they start making runs, and they're starting to make a run in football now. But the district wasn't as bad as we thought it was when we look at it, you know. But the schedule is a little soft, a little sketchy. I'm like this. If St. Augustine has their minds right, they should wipe the floor on McKinley. One side of my mind, don't be surprised this goes down to the wire, but St. Augustine should win big.
George.
It is the burden of expectation for St. Aug because they've had a terrible regular season by what they were supposed to be. 3-7, winless in the Catholic League. And normally I'm not a fan of going that route in the playoff setting, but I feel like there's pressure to win this game Friday night for St. Augustine. I think potential changes could be made if they lose this game to McKinley in a game that, let's face it, they're clearly a better side talent-wise. And you mentioned McKinley's district isn't great. They didn't schedule very hard. They did build it up to win. They say winning breeds confidence, but the reality check comes when they can't block number 90 on St. Aug's defense. I think he's going to wreak a lot of havoc in this game. Purple Knights by 14.
I'll say about more than that, in my opinion. I think they win bigger than 14.
It's at McKinley, so, it's a road game, so we'll see.
Tioga hosting LW Higgins. I heard somebody say last night Higgins going up there and win big.
Well, he could bet.
I would bet him too. I got Tioga. VK.
Well, all I'm going to say is big ups going to Clifford Harris and Higgins getting to the postseason, finally getting some kind of direction in that program. So big ups to him, and I think this is going to be something to build going into next season. But Tioga will get it done.
George.
5 straight losses for Higgins on their way to the playoffs. 5. Tioga, tough trip. Been to that field. It's a beautiful field up there. And Kevin Cook has done a magnificent job there, head coach of the Tioga Indians. With that said, kudos to Clifford Harris for getting this team into the playoffs. And yes, you could use this as a building block. Obviously, with 8-5A being tougher next year with the additions of Carr and Easton potentially, it's going to make it a lot tougher. And then being back in 5A, we'll see how that plays out. But as far as this, there's not much to say. Tioga wins by a lot.
Northwood Shreve hosting Archbishop Rummel. Rummel's getting healthy at the right time. Northwood Shreve last year was a quarterfinalist. Not this year for Northwood Shreve. Rummel will go up there to Shreveport and get this win. Archbishop Rummel wins. VK.
All I'm going to tell you is this. Archbishop Rummel is going to, the way it's looking, if they do what they need to do and handle the business, they're going to look like the Rummel baseball team, what happened this year when they went to North Louisiana twice and got it done and got to the semifinals and stunned Cadlick of Baton Rouge to get to the finals. I really think this Rummel team is good enough, and I think, it'll be close, but they'll pull away. They'll get it done, and don't be surprised. They might give Captain Shreve maybe some fits, possibly.
George.
That's a lot. It's a lot to ask to win 2 straight games in the northern part of the state. The travel is exponentially tough, but you know what? The resiliency the Raiders have shown since the beatdown at the hands of Shaw in the megaphone, they've kind of righted the ship a little bit. Rummel. I thought about going with the home side, but every time I watch Rummel, they continue to get better. They haven't really plateaued yet. I do think that the Raiders, I'm with you guys. I'm going to go with Rummel, and this is not bias against out of New Orleans teams. Rummel wins it. It's going to be an entertaining game, but the Raiders get out of there with a 6-point win.
Ooh, he's saying close. Okay. We're going to move to Division 2 select, everyone. We're going to start with the Northside Vikings against the Istruma Indians. I'm going to go with Northside. I think Northside pulls it out close. VK.
I gotta agree with you on that. The Stromer's been playing much, much better lately and everything. But I think Northside from that tough district, they're gonna be very, very battle tested. Tight one, Northside.
Kenny said Northside hosting the
And
first
Struma
playoff
did
game
beat
since
Bonham.
2004. Go ahead, George.
And Struma did beat Bonneville a couple of weeks ago.
They did.
I'm just throwing it out
Out
there.
there.
They did 30-13.
Mm-hmm.
So does that mean I'm picking them? No. Northside, as VK mentioned, astutely mentioned, comes out of a pretty rugged district, and that area has produced a lot of great football teams. But Northside is not one of them. They're good, but they're good enough. Friday night, they will win against Struma.
All right. Livingston Collegiate against Booker T. Washington Shreveport. I got Livingston going back to the second round for the second year in a row. Livingston. VK.
I got to agree with you. Coach Francois is gonna have them people ready. I think they're the better team. Livingston gets it done.
Since they bottomed out against Kennedy a couple of weeks ago, Livingston has kind of gotten things together. They were beat, what was it, 61-0, JB, when they played the Cougars?
61 or
But
64.
understandably, that's Kennedy.
One of the two.
So I'm like, yeah, well, it's embarrassing either way you look at it. That was their bottom, their rock bottom that day. They've kind of turned things around here, but Livingston's had a really good year despite that. The trip's going to do the Shreveport team in. Livingston wins. Name the number. I think they win by 3 scores.
All right. Now, Evangel versus Belair. The winner to take on Archbishop Shaw. I have Evangel. VK.
I agree. Evangel will get it done.
Rumor has it that Shaw's trying to help Bel Air win so they don't have to face that pitch and catch next week. I'm kidding. I don't see a scenario to where Bel Air goes into Shreveport and wins at Evangel. Evangel will win the game and they will make their way to Joe Zimmerman next Friday again. Yeah, next Friday against Shaw.
Vanderbilt Catholic against Frederick Douglass. Can Douglass get the upset? I think the first quarter will be close, and I think Vanderbilt Catholic pulls away after that. I have Vanderbilt Catholic. Who you got, VK?
I'm gonna say the same on this one. I think Raphael Reed will make things interesting for Douglas, but I think Vanderbilt Catholic will settle down, and get it done.
George Peppers.
I think what's going to win the game for the Terriers is the fact that, yeah, Reed will make plays at some points in the game, but the problem with Douglas is they're not consistent enough over a 4-quarter stretch against quality opposition. I don't think they're good enough. I think Vanderbilt's defense will turn this game somewhere early in the second half and get separation. Terriers win, go into the next round.
Peabody hosted Booker T. Washington, New Orleans. Coach Wayne Reese Jr. They started getting things put together at the right time, but is it enough to go up to Peabody and win? I got Peabody. VK.
I definitely look at this one. It's gonna be a great ball game. It's gonna be an absolute great ball game. I think Booker T is gonna really bring it to Peabody, but I think Harry Coleman and the squad's gonna get it done.
I think this is one of the games that's going to be a lot of points scored here. I think this is a scoreboard operator's nightmare because he's going to be plenty busy. I think both teams are going to score in 30s, high scoring game. But I think Peabody, gets some separation somewhere late in the third, early fourth quarter, gets that gap score to win. And the final margin, I say Peabody by 10.
Okay. McDonough 35 hosting Lord Beaconsfield Landry. I think we got a close game. Don't let the records fool you, ladies and gentlemen. I think this will be a close game.
Nope.
We've seen 35 offense struggle. We've seen 35 off defense play well. Landry, couple wins that were huge. One over Higgins and another one who I cannot remember. I think this is a close ball game, but I do think 35 pulls it out. VK.
This one will go down to the wire in itself because Landry's going to fight all the way to the end. This is going to be an interesting ball game, but I think Santana Price is not going to let his team die. Mag 35.
Therein lies the difference in this game. LB Landry does not have Santana Price. Mac 35 does. I think the Run Eagles, though, will surprise you a little bit. I think defensively is where it's going to carry them. What I don't trust for 35 is they're not consistent enough offensively. This is a team that's got the talent and the skill set to really be a very good offense, but they've been hit or miss most of the year. The game we did against Salmon, but that's a good defense, Salmon. So I'm not going to crap on them for that. Ron Eagles win this and move on to the second round. But you know what? Tip of the hat to Landry. Y'all have overcome a lot just to get here. You know, you lost your coach right at the foot of the beginning of the season, and you found a way to the playoffs. Congratulations on getting there. I think it ends Friday night. Mac 35 by 14.
Madison Prep hosting Woodlawn Shreve. I got Madison Prep. VK.
Madison Prep, Woodlawn Shreve. I got Madison Prep as well.
I do too, as well. It's not that it's a beatdown or nothing like that. Madison Prep, you guys saw them in week 1 against Brother Martin, and they just didn't do very much in that game. But they've gotten better as the season has progressed. They're good enough to win this game, though. Madison Prep gets it done.
De La Salle hosting Buckeye. De La Salle.
I hate to do this. I gotta shake it up. Buckeye for the upset. Gotta shake it up. If you're gonna go hard, go hard. I'm going Buckeye. This thing is going down to the wire. Remember, De La Salle's not all 100%. So we're gonna see what happens. Should be close, but I got Buckeye pulling this off.
Okay, how do I follow that, JB?
This is like the most outlandish pick ever.
If it's the most outlandish pick, and Buckeye some way somehow gets the freaking win, what you gonna have to say? There've been some. Now remember, you put down that one game. You put down that LaGrange and Washington Marion game, and who came out with egg on their face that day?
But that was a winless team and a one win team.
Just saying,
winless and 1 win. That ain't got nothing to do with this game.
Can I make my pick?
Make your pick.
Okay. All right. With that said, VK, I think I know where you're going, why you're going the way you are. But rationally speaking, I don't see it. De La Salle is getting healthy as we head to these year state playoffs. And they've got the difference maker that Buckeye does not have. Buckeye is the path of least resistance defensively. They score, but they give up a ton of points. De La Salle, this is a get well game offensively for them, and they will dominate this game. De La Salle big.
Let's move on to Division 3 select.
Let's.
Can I change it?
No, too late.
No.
Too late.
It's recorded, sir. It's recorded.
Moved on.
Yes, sir.
That's fine.
All right, here we go. We didn't do this one yesterday, did we? No, we didn't do this one.
No, remember we almost did by accident.
Yeah, okay.
This was the division you almost made a boo-boo yesterday.
Okay, good. Good. All right, here we go.
All right, brother.
Division 3 select. Loyola Prep against Ascension Episcopal. I got the visiting team, Ascension Episcopal. VK.
Going the other way. Going with the Flyers, Loyola Prep.
George.
Okay. I'm gonna side with the CEO here. I'm going with the visiting team. It's a 16-17. I think Ascension Episcopal has the character to pull this thing out. It'll be a very good ball game, though. It should be. It's 16-17. I think Ascension Episcopal with the slight upset.
That's what I'm talking about. Number 9, Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Hosting 24 Green
Uh-oh.
Oaks. Yes, I'm going with the Pios of Notre Dame. VK.
We're on the same page. Lenny, now, I tell you one thing, the legend in itself, Coach Cook. I think it's Lenny Cook, I believe, or is it
Lewis Cook.
Louis Cook.
Cook.
Yeah, Louis Cook. I mean, the legend itself, great guy in itself, man. I mean, continue consistency with the program, Notre Dame.
Yeah, there's not much to overthink here. Notre Dame's going to win it. If they win in the next week too against the Auburn Woods, that sets up a potential matchup against the 1 seed St. Charles, and seems like those two can't avoid each other. Potential quarterfinal matchup, but Notre Dame wins handily Friday night.
Pope John Paul II hosting Lake Charles College Prep. Get your popcorn ready because the upset is brewing. Lake Charles College Prep comes to Slidell and defeats the 12 seed Pope John Paul II. VK.
I'm going with Lake Charles College Prep. I don't think this is an upset because of the fact of the matter is, yeah, Pope John Paul has had a really good year and everything else, but this is an even matchup. So I don't think this is an upset. Lake Charles College Prep will get it done.
I don't think it's an even matchup. To be honest with you.
Not even an even matchup,
I don't
but
think it's even at all.
just it. I can agree with that, Jared. I'm just saying the fact of the matter is, with them being a 12 and no knocking to what the season that they had a really good year, but I think that LCCP team is way better, and they are the better team than Pope John Paul. So that's why this is well, the rankings will be an upset according to the rankings, but to me, it's not an upset.
I'm gonna call it upset too because a 3-7 Lake Charles College Prep team about to beat an 8-2 Pope John Paul II team. It's about to happen, ladies and gentlemen.
I didn't realize they were 3-7. But
yeah, man,
they are.
Yeah, go ahead, George. Go with the upset.
My problem with Lake Charles College Prep is that they have the talent pool to pull this thing out. The consistency has not been there all year long. They've been more missed than hit. But Pope John Paul, look, for all the kudos that we can give them, going 8-2, having a terrific regular season. It's been a minute since they've been that relevant. And the fact that they're hosting is a big boost for their program. But if Lake Charles College Prep shows up and plays to what we thought they would be, they should win. And I don't have the stones to go with the home side. I'm going with the road team, Lake Charles College Prep, for the win.
Yeah. Patrick Taylor, Sophie B. Wright, the rematch from early in the year. I wish I could sit here and say I'm so confident in the team I'm picking because, man, I just think this can go either way. You heard Coach Dorsey last night. Just inconsistent. Double-digit lead and then just lost the lead. I'll let you go first, George. I need more time to think.
I was kind of thinking the same thing. I was kind of thinking the same.
Panthers BK.
I got
No. I need time to think too. This is a tough
Listen,
one.
I'll take the lead on this. It is, but I'll take the lead here gently. Do I upset the fan base, Jared Boyd?
You are
Patrick Taylor.
You're the biggest. They love you at Patrick Taylor, George.
That they do.
They love you.
That they do. And the ACT scores are higher than mine, 28, and it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Not saying I was stupid or nothing, but They do score 28. I did score pretty well on mine, but not 28. Um, that being said, here's the thing that you look at in this matchup. We did the first game at Bertolino when they played. Outdoors, nice, and everything else. Sophie B dominated that first half, and they went away from what worked. I think, I think and quite honestly, I think Coach Dorsey and company overthought, and they didn't when Patrick Taylor made adjustments. They didn't. I think they learned a lot from there. But Patrick Taylor does not have the gifted athletes that most teams on the West Bank do, but they play so sound. That is a sound football team, and Ethan Tran may be the difference here. I'm going to go with Patrick Taylor close.
VK?
Jared, you ready? Or you
Now pass it
or
to
you
you.
still need to think?
Okay.
Ah,
It's your turn, sir.
oh, tough one, tough one. Man, my heart is definitely with Sophie B. Right because of their experience, because of them being in that postseason before, and a payback
And
game.
winning last year.
Not just
Mhm.
winning last year, and this time a payback game. Usually, it's hard to beat a team twice in one season. Very hard.
Yep.
My heart goes with Sophie B, but my head is going with Patrick Taylor because of their style of play, and that they can definitely keep Sophie B right off the field. It's a tough one. Hmm. I think it's something with Coach Dorsey that I see. I think I think the payback is gonna be right there. Sophie be right.
I'm done thinking. I'm done thinking.
I think I know where you going.
Where I'm going.
I don't know, but I think I know where you going. Cause
Okay.
anytime see I've been noticing a pattern.
Oh.
A certain tight game that maybe if you pick, I might go the other way. If I pick, you go the other way.
Hmm. I think your pattern is wrong because I'm going with Sophie B. Right on this one. I think Sophie B. Right
Oh,
gets the win in a tight,
oh,
contested
okay.
ball game. I think they get it. Oh, Patrick Taylor, still love y'all. Still love y'all. All right.
Big ups.
North Lake Christian against St. Thomas Aquinas. I think we had another tough one on our hands. But I'm gonna go North Lake Christian on this one. PK.
I gotta agree with you. I think North Lake Christian will get it done. It'll be a very tight ball game. North Lake Christian by a field goal.
Entertaining game that's going to be played there on Slide Out Friday night. I'm going to go with the home side. Wolverines get it done. North Lake Christian. Close.
Number 11, Episcopal hosting ML King Charter. Coach Riley got his team in the playoffs again. They got to the second round last year. Lost to Dunham in the second round. I think this time it's going to be over in the first round. I got Episcopal. VK.
Mm. Uh, I think Episcopal is gonna be way too much for Coach Joe Riley's team. Man. I like what he's doing with the program, but I think Episcopal from a really good district. I think they're too battle tested. They'll get it done.
ML King Charter has made incremental progress under Coach Riley. They've, taken steps. Baby steps is not going to work against Episcopal. Episcopal's a battle tested group that will handle their business this week, and you know, uh, be nice to see a New Orleans school go in there and get it, but I don't see it. Episcopal wins.
Parkview Baptist hosting Jefferson Rise Charter. Shout out to Coach Trent Mackey for the job he's done at Jefferson Rise Charter. 2 years of a football program, and they're in the playoffs. I got Parkview Baptist though winning.
from no wins to 4 wins, man. Amazing, amazing, and it seemed like Jefferson Rise is a really good future under Coach Mackey, man. So it was great to interview him. It was great to find out more about the Jefferson Rise School and its program. They're making strides. They got a great future in Harvey slash Monroe, if you could say. But if you didn't know, their school is the old Winn Dixie building in Woodmere. So that's where Jefferson Rise is.
Hmm.
So and they got a new basketball gym inside of that thing. So
That's
they
right,
converted
Harvey.
that
That's right.
whole
They moved from Gretna to Harvey. That's right. You're right. Yep.
yes. So they like I said, they got a whole gym in there now. They converted that place to a school. They're in future plans of getting a practice field, all that. They're making strides, man. But Parkview, they are making a return to glory, man. They're really truly making a return to glory these last couple years, especially this season. I like Parkview.
Hey, George.
Um, I mean, look, I echo what you guys said about Jay Rise, Jefferson Rise. They've gone from goose eggs to four and a playoff spot. Parkway Panthers has the one thing Jefferson Rise doesn't have yet: pedigree. They've won multiple state championships. They've been in the playoffs consistently. That experience is going to lean all over Jefferson Rise, and they'll win very big.
And then here's the thing with Parkview, like I said, a little bit return to glory because you have to think since I believe who was the coach? I think it was EO or something like that. Bill Yatt. When Coach Bill Yatt retired,
And again,
yes, Kenny Gilliard, when he retired at Parkview,
mhm.
remember Parkview went on a dry spell. This is their second straight year in postseason. They went on a good 6, 7 year dry spell. So now they're just coming back. So, the championships was in the past, but they went on a dry spell. We didn't see that with a couple of very good programs, even with Evangel. We didn't see some dry spells, but now they're starting to try to get back up. But big ups to them because this is the second straight year they're in postseason. This year is a better year than last year, and I think Parkview is starting to really get back on the scene.
15 seed Holy Savior Menard against 18 Homer Christian. I think we got a good ball game on our hand, but I'm going with the home team, Holy Savior Menard. VK.
I gotta shake this up right here. Homer Christian. They've been battle tested. They done got some good ones on the schedule, and they're not afraid. They play no fear type of football. Give me Homer Christian over Holy Savior Menard. I want that early lead, baby, in the postseason edition of our pick'ems. I gotta get it.
Rule number one: what VK Jones picks, go against.
Yes.
Rule number two: first learn rule number one. That's the Karate Kid line. Um, I'm gonna go with the home side because I'm much more familiar with them. Homer Christian's been nice. They've been a solid group, but Menard, they play in an underrated district. That's the district with Bonky Gina and all them.
Mhm.
And those two teams are top six seeds. So that is going to help Menard get it done. Menard wins it.
All right, Division 4 select Slaughter hosting Delhi Charter. I'm going to go Delhi Charter. VK.
What's the matchup? Delhi Charter and Slaughter.
Florida Community College Charter.
Slaughter Community
I
Charter.
gotta agree with Jared on this one. I think Delhi Charter's a better team than Slaughter.
Make it three. I'm going to go with the line charter as well. Close game, but I think the road team gets it.
Number 9, Ascension Catholic hosting 24 Central Private. I'm going Ascension Catholic.
Ascension Catholic, name your score. Name your score.
No disrespect to the 24 seed, but not much to really analyze here. Ascension Catholic, easy.
Catholic Point Capee hosting Cedar Creek. I'm going Catholic Point Capee.
I gotta agree with you on that too. Catholic Point Capee. I think it'll be close, but I think they'll pull away. They'll get it done.
Home side. Home side wins it. Catholic Point Cookie gets it done.
Delta Charter hosts Covenant Christian. I'm going Delta Charter.
Ugh. This could go down to the wire. This could be very, very close here. I like Delta Charter getting it done by a touchdown.
Okay.
Now let's make it unanimous, shall we? Delta Charter wins it.
Oh man, St. Edmund hosting Westminster Christian. Ooh. I'm gonna go with St. Edmund.
Ugh. Give me St. Edmunds as well. Give me St. Edmund.
Tempting to go the roadside here.
It
They
looks
Westminster Christian. They have an opportunity, a real opportunity to pull this thing out. But St. Edmunds at home, they'll find a way, get it, dig in and win this game by a touchdown.
Glenbrook hosting Sacred Heart. I got Glenbrook.
Glenbrook big.
Make it 3, Glenbrook.
Central Catholic hosting Hamilton Christian. I got Central Catholic.
I got Central Catholic as well.
The route will be on Central Catholic big.
Okay. And last but not least, Hanson Memorial against St. John. I'm going with the road team, St. John. VK.
I was hoping you'd go on Hanson Memorial. God dog it.
I bet you were.
Damn you, Jared. St. John of Plaquemine.
Oh wow.
St. John of Plaquemine. Dang. Because I was hoping he would go the home team,
Right.
but he didn't. That's why I reacted that way. I was like, oh boy. But
That'd be all right.
we're all right. We're on the same page, Jared. So I'm like, I was hoping you'd go that way, but I'm like, oh man. I was like, that was my pick. I'm gonna go with it.
I had said, in advance of this show, I picked the games ahead of this show, and this was one I pegged for the roadside. And it doesn't matter, for me who picks who. At the end of the day, I just think St. John is the better side, and they pull this thing out. They've had a couple of lean years too. They've started to get back a little bit. But St. John's St. John of Plaquemine gets it done.
Yep, and there are our picks for round 1. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back Monday. Monday, we'll be back for sure. And we might be doing picks for all divisions. We will see. But Monday for sure. If we're back Tuesday, I'll let you know. Definitely can't do Wednesday. Thursday, I don't know. We'll see. But Monday for sure. We're doing all our picks on Monday. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see.
So show lineup is pretty much just Monday.
Just Monday as of right now.
Wow.
Tuesday and Wednesday are some important days when you're celebrating an anniversary of something.
Yes,
so,
indeed.
Yeah, I know.
Bomb on us. Could have told it before the show.
Pow.
Before, we know we talk before the show. We'll talk after the show.
Pow.
So that was kind of a bombshell. Like we got a Monday show. We don't know
Monday
about
show,
Wednesday.
baby. Monday.
Nothing wrong with a Monday show.
That's why I did. I already knew. See.
I know Thanksgiving week it might be a big week on that one. I know we've been talking about that. So.
We're gonna talk about that, yeah. But here's a question from Kenny Ramonde. Do you all look ahead at possible matchups to broadcast next week? As far as like calling the game itself, we're kind of looking at it. We have see if this happens, but it's also other type of stuff that happens to where we may or may not be able to call a game. So it's a lot of stuff that happens. It's just the fact that we just are not able to say, hey, next week, let's do Westgate and Ruston. There's other stuff that plays along with it. So we'll see. So we make a whole list of what games to broadcast. So we shall see. But you will know next week which game we're gonna broadcast. We're gonna have it. I promise you.
Yep.
We're gonna have it. Other than that, Monday for sure we're back. That I do promise. We're back on Monday, and we might try to do something Tuesday or Wednesday. We'll see, depending on how things work out. But Monday for sure. VK, any last words before we go?
Well, this was a fun show tonight. Coy Brotherton was a very, very good interview right there. I'm looking forward to Friday night's broadcast. A 3-man weave. I think it might be our, it might be our first or maybe two. Maybe we'll see what happens with it. But it's gonna be fun that we're gonna do all three of us broadcasting a playoff game together. I think the hard work is starting to pay off. I think we're going to have a big audience this week for our game. I really, really think so. And we'd like to thank our fans and supporters of the show. We'd like to thank all the sponsors. And also, big shout out to Dr. Lana Joseph for these drums headphones, man. Very good. The best headphones, best noise canceling headphones in the world, man. In the world, Craig. In the world. So please go look up Drums Earwear. Try to get you one. You know what I'm saying? But hey, man, this was a fun night tonight. I hope we do well this week. I hope I kick butt on this selection picks since we're starting all over again 0-0. I want that postseason title. That's what I want. Jared got the regular season. I want the postseason. The most important one in the world. It's all good. Who knows? JB might be 2-time champion this year. Who knows? But we're not.
Oh, wow.
But we're gonna do what we can to not make that happen, right, George?
I'm used to winning multiple championships. So what can I say?
Yeah.
Multiple championships.
Well,
but against us,
VK
win against us.
I won last year. I won this year. So what's the difference?
But
look at his face. Look at George. Look at his face.
I see it. But I'm gonna say this: you want to win a title, you can shake it up in many ways. But picking Buckeye over De La Salle, no disrespect to Buckeye. Oops. I mean, that sounds like you slipped on a banana peel and went face planting. I just don't. I was talking to a friend of mine whose son plays for De La Salle. I mean, y'all know his son, Kedrick Richardson. His dad and I work together, and we talk. And I told him, I said, "Look, man, your defense is going to make plays that they can't make. They can't stop. They can't stop anybody." He said, "Look, he saw some film on him. They talked about it, and he said, man, look, if we don't hang it on him, I don't know what to tell you." And he's also one that thinks Aaron's going to blow Riverdale away too. But again, another good Lord, Kenny is not going to let you live that down.
Oh, yeah, let me show him down.
My God.
I'm like this. I'm like this. Let me tell you something. If some way, somehow, Buckeye pulls it out, all I know, Kenny, JB, and GP, y'all gonna walk it down. Walk it down. You gonna walk them 10 down. Walk it down. That's all I gotta say. If it happens, I'm just trying to win. If I lose, I lose. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I motivated De La Salle. Great job, De La Salle, Coach Jared. Big ups to y'all, get it done. But at the same time, if I get it done, if Buckeye gets done, all I know, you will all bow to the presence of greatness. That's all I gotta say.
I want to say this right quick. What if Riverdale gets their first playoff win over John Eric?
You're trying. I'll give you that.
I'm not trying. I just asked the question. I'm really not trying. I just asked the question.
Look, sir,
What if that happens?
you're trying to elicit a negative reaction out of me, but I'm going to be the bigger man here. and I'm going to rely on the superior talent of John Ehret. As we discussed in the picks, the Patriots have a better team top to bottom, and they should win. Now, there are some X factors that may prevent them from doing that. But look, we're going to be at that game tomorrow night. And Riverdale's going to come out hungry. Look, they're looking at Aaron and saying, you know what, we can win this.
They are.
So they really are, and it's not just Charles Allen. It's not my friend that works with me. It's other people around Riverdale that are surrounding Riverdale. They have belief, and they feel like it's an opportune matchup against an Aaron team that, quite honestly, with the talent pool they have, they should be better than 6-4. Just throwing it out there.
Who scores
with
first?
The talent pool that they got?
Who scores first?
What's that?
Who scores first?
Oh, Eric.
Who
Eric.
scores first?
I mean, if they score first, then that self belief will go out the window.
Who scores first, VK?
I ain't gonna lie to you. I wouldn't be surprised Riverdale might score first, but they don't score no more.
I'll tell you who's
since Aaron.
They might score first and go up 7-0, but then all of a sudden Aaron just settle down, and that's gonna be it.
I'll tell you who's scoring first. I'm gonna tell you right now. Whoever wins the opening kickoff. There you go. Opening kickoff. They scoring first. Bam. All right, we gotta roll. We gotta roll, ladies and gentlemen. It's been great. Doing the show tonight. We're back on Monday. We're trying to get 2 shows next week. We try. We'll be back on Monday. Other than that, y'all got any last words? All right.
Nah, man, we definitely appreciate it, man. Tune in Friday, Bell Chase and Parkway. Hash It Out Show game of the week. At the cage, 6:20. Countdown to kickoff. George Peppers, it's your turn, buddy. Got to step the game up, baby. It's first round playoffs. We're looking forward to have everybody to join us. Parkway, Bell Chase, all our fans. Come on out. Come on out, but not just that.
One more fearless prediction. One of you or both of you, one of you I know will constantly update that De La Salle score. Because, Jared, I can tell you're not going to live it down if they do win it. So I feel like when I throw it to you guys, if y'all got score updates, I already know that game is going to be somewhere near the front of the list. Because a lot of the top tier teams are not playing Friday night. They're on the bye. And we're setting up for some tantalizing second round matchups next week. But yeah, a Friday night by district round, as VK mentioned, 6:20 p.m. kickoff, countdown to kickoff. He will be hosting the pregame. The 3 of us are together, and it's always fun when we're together. And I'm just looking forward to the opportunity to broadcast a playoff game, one of 4 that we will do for the Hash It Out show before we cede the coverage to the Superdome for the championships to Nash 1061 and Crescent City Sports, because that's the entity we're closely associated with. And they're going to obviously will hopefully be a part of that in 4 weeks' time. But thank you guys for the opportunity. This has been great. And when we talk next week, I'll have the lead in the picks. That's all I'm going to tell you.
For VK Jones, for George Peppers, I'm JB the Sports Guy. We'll see you back here next week. Playoffs start tomorrow. Round 1 of the playoffs. Oh, man, the road to the Superdome starts now. We'll see you next week.
You're watching the Hash It Out Show! Hands up, hands up, hands up. If you winning and you don't give a fuck about a hater, tell them move. Move, move, move. Cause I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. Hands up, hands up. If you winning and you don't give a fuck about a hater, tell them move. Move, move, move. Cause I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning.
Thank you for watching the Hash It Out show. Please like, subscribe.